everybody, and welcome back to the reality recap. I'm your host, Queen E, and I'm exhausted. I don't know if y'all could tell from the last podcast episode, but I've just been through it, and I came home to my apartment just in shambles. We ain't even got the stuff up anymore, but we're still gonna push through because we have a lot to talk about, okay? I wanna talk about a little bit of Love Island All-Stars, a little bit of the Love is Blind fallout, and the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Now, if you've been following me for a long time, you're probably like, Queen E's talking about the Housewives? I am. I'm officially on the boat. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. You're gonna have to hold my hand through it because I don't know anybody. I don't know the backstories. I don't know the drama. So if there's context that I need, definitely make sure to comment down below what I need to know to keep me abreast on everything going on with the Real Housewives. So with that being said, please make sure to like on any platform that you're watching on, subscribe, comment down below. Speaking of subscriptions, I told you guys, let's get to 4. Y'all got me to 4. I told you guys, let's get to 5. We're basically at 5. Baby, at this point, let me say 10 because we are overachievers over here at the reality recap. Okay, so let's get to 10. I believe in you. I believe in you. Speaking of believing in, one couple I do not believe in from Love Island All-Stars is Gabby and Casey. Now, I had been seeing this going around for a while, but I didn't want to comment on it because I was like, give them a few weeks. Like maybe they'll actually be an official couple. Gabby and Casey are still exclusive, closed off, whatever those things mean to you. And it's not that big of a deal until you hear Casey explain the reasons as to why he hasn't made Gabby his girlfriend yet. So as we know, Casey has a reputation of basically being an F-boy. He's a guy who loves the attention of women, loves to kind of string them along and then kind of chuck them whenever he's done with them. That's my interpretation. It's a little bit more salacious than, I'm saying it a little bit more salacious than it really is, but that's what it feels like. It feels like he just has his way with women and then just discards them when he's done with them. So it is no surprise that they won the show. They've been together for however long now. And he's still like, oh yeah, we're not in a relationship. And the reason is being in a relationship is not going to change anything. Whenever people say that, I'm like, okay, so then just be in a relationship. Like, if it's not going to change anything, then why not just date? Like making her your girlfriend to me dwindles the opportunities that he can have. For me, that whole like plausible deniability is still in play because he's not in an official relationship. And the same thing, if I'm not mistaken, happened to Gabby however many years ago with what's his name? I forget his name. The guy who was in, oh gosh, I was even gonna bring up the group that he was in. Oh, whatever. Marcel? I already forgot. I think it's Marcel. They weren't in a relationship. So whenever he was doing his madness, he had the whole deniability of, well, I wasn't actually cheating. We weren't in a relationship. It was a showmance. It was whatever. Gabby, history is repeating itself. And it's so sad to see Gabby just sit there and be like, oh, the internet's trying to make it a bigger situation than it is or whatnot. Do you want to be in a relationship? Because babe, if you want to be in a relationship, then you deserve to be with somebody who wants to be in a relationship with you. Like, how long is this whole, oh, we're exclusive, oh, we're closed off, we're seeing where things go? How long is that going to be a viable answer for you? Especially because you've already been here before. And you're now with somebody who has a very well-known reputation. I would expect nothing less from Casey if he was to go and act a damn fool because that's what he does. That's what we know him to do. So I'm looking at Gabby like, babe, be careful now, especially because she's saying a whole lot about Omar and Catherine, saying that their couple is disingenuous and whatever. Baby, you're in the same boat. Are you not? Are you not? I'd be careful how I'd speak on other people's relationships, seeing that you're in the same boat. That is all. To anybody who's in a situationship, guys, can we grow out of those, please? And I'm preaching to the choir because there was a while in my life where I'd be like, no, we're just trying to see where things go and we're just kind of, and then I got to the point where it was like, no, why is everybody just trying to see where things go? Especially when I walk in saying I want a relationship and then I'm not in a relationship yet I'm still relating with said person. And then I got to the point where I'm not even accepting that kind of verbiage. Oh, what are we? Oh, you know what? Actually, don't even ask what are we. I asked once, never asked again. But let's say you ask, hey, what are we? Oh, I'm just trying to take it slow. Oh, I'm just trying to see where things go. I don't really want to put labels on. Baby, if you want a label, If you don't want to take things slow, if you don't want to wait around to see where things go, leave. I hope for Gabby's sake, she's genuinely happy with just going with the flow, with just rolling with the punches. Because right now it sounds to me like she's trying to convince herself, because Casey, girl, that's not the person to invest in, but hey, whatever. Moving on from Love Island All-Stars, unless there's anything else that I need to know, y'all let me know in the comments down below. Let's talk about Love is Blind a little bit, okay? So I missed this, but TikTok has been talking about Virginia's friend who was at the wedding and how she has been blasting Devin on social media. I don't know if she's still doing it, but she was doing it around reunion time. So basically, she does not believe in Devin's tears. Now, mind you, I told y'all I fell asleep during that episode. I was knocked out during that episode. However, I did see Devin crying. And at the time I was like, oh, how sad. Especially after he said, I do and everything, like, oh, whatever. And then I started to see the clips on social media. And I said, now where are the tears? Nary a tear fell from Devin's eye. And I said, oh, the performance of it all. So the friend was like, that man was fake crying every single time he would get emotional. Like, please, those tears are not real, if there even are tears. And then to make matters worse, we thought the broke boy energy was bad at the wedding. Apparently, every time they had a date, Virginia would cover Devin. Now, I'm aware we live in 2025, you know, equality, 50-50. Everybody's here for the 50-50. Well, not everybody. Some people don't like the 50-50 thing, but we understand that a woman can step up and cover the bill. Either if you're on a date or if you live in a place, like, you know what I'm saying? It's not crazy to cover the bill. Every bill? Every time? I'm looking at the both of them like, Devin, you're not beating the broke boy allegations. He's not. And Virginia, you really wanted to go into a partnership where you would be assuming the mother role over this grown-ass man? Girl, why? How? I'm so confused why she was still entertaining this relationship even after the fact. Now, there's been some discourse on whether or not Virginia was just checking up on Devin after their relationship ended, or if she wanted to get back with him. I'm unsure. I wasn't there. We don't really know what the context of that those conversations were, right? But if she really was trying to like nurture a relationship, to what end? The values don't line up. The way he treated you, it seemed as if you were just going to be the mommy of the relationship. God forbid. I'm not a mommy. I'm not a babysitter. I'm not nothing. At the very least, I'm an equal partner in this. We're splitting things 50-50. I would prefer you be the primary breadwinner and I sit here like a princess, the princess that I am. But if I got to step up, that's totally fine if I know my partner is also stepping up. And it sounds like Devin was just not stepping up. And even worse, he would have been doing things on the low to slight you financially, because y'all remember that 1K? I did mention this in the review, but it was 3 to 4 days before the wedding that she was made aware of this $1,000 check that he just seemingly pocketed for himself. Devin, no. Virginia, also no. Now, people are also talking about Sarah and how Sarah was trying to stand on the principle that Ben's actions, or Ben's beliefs, Ben's values, Ben's belief, Ben's political stance, or the lack thereof, was the reason why she didn't want to be with him. However, she still nurtured a relationship after the fact. They lived together for 2 weeks and she wanted to move to Nashville with him. It's like, girl, it's not giving that you stand on business. Now, come to find out, Ben has released the text messages between them during that time. And it sounds to me, based on his text, and I'm led to believe that the texts are accurate, because now Apple has the new update where if you delete something or if you unsend something, it will be written there. I didn't see this message was deleted. This message was unsent. I didn't see that. So he really did believe that their last conversation was a breakup. He was like, I need to process this. You know, I hope that we can stay on good terms, whatever. And even she was talking about good terms. And Storytime with Ricky pointed out a good point. If I'm currently in a relationship with you, there's no need to be in good terms. I'm assuming we're on good terms, being that we're together. So I believe Ben when he's like, I left that conversation believing that we were broken up. And he also says that the agreement between them was that they would spend the summer in Minnesota, and then at the end of the summer, they would go to Nashville together. Then Sarah's rebuttal was, well, actually, I'm just going to go to Nashville for the summer. And I mean, if you tell me you're going to do something that's against our agreement, I don't know if that's what Ben perceived as the breakup, but I would assume that you're starting to curate your life without me. So already I'm sensing a detachment. I'm sensing the distance. I don't know. I just have questions for Sarah. Sarah is also being rumored to be dating Joey. How peculiar. I would have never put those two together. So this has been something that a few other castmates have alluded to. I think I saw Madison on, I forget the lady, but she's from The Bachelor, I'm pretty sure. But on one of those podcasts, she was like, well, I'm not going to say too much, but people are mixing and mingling. It also was confirmed by Ben in the same TikTok that I'm referring to. He apparently went into the reunion with Sarah believing that they were on good terms. Of course, he was then blindsided because she was ready to cook him. Okay. Furthermore, he said that he and Sarah had a conversation that they would not date other castmates. So it's interesting now how the rumors are going around that Sarah and Joey are dating. Now, Sarah denies it. She went on a podcast and she was saying that he's a special friend. And then when it was posed if she was going to date him in the future, she was just doing the whole like, oh, we'll see where things go. You never know, right? Babes. It's giving fraud. Now, mind you, Ben is still a fraud in my eyes. But Sarah, you're also giving fraud. And it's interesting too, because, oh gosh, I have so many things I want to talk about now that I've actually had time to like let the season sink in. Because baby, the way my eyes glossed over this whole season. When I think about the conversation that Sarah had with her sister and her sister's partner, the sister's partner was almost making it seem like, well, hold on. If you're saying that you are willing to be in a partnership with this person, you're inadvertently saying that you align with that person's belief, or at least you condone the beliefs and the lifestyle that they live, right? And I'm thinking to myself, there was a lot of criticism coming from Sarah, but she still stayed. She still like kept the door open. And in the review, I did say that I am understanding of people who are willing to learn and willing to understand and willing to challenge their beliefs. I'm okay with that. But the way that she was like, oh, it's a hard line for me that I would not be with somebody who believes in A, B, C, and D, but then you still wanted to be with him, accepted the proposal, you dated him after the fact. It's giving that you're just like him. So in as much as you want us to see Ben as a fraud, maybe you're a fraud too. I don't know, girl. But anyways, moving on from that. Joey's deleted scene is something that I didn't get to see until after I did the podcast episode for the reunion, sorry. And in that deleted scene, it was Joey and his family meeting Monica. And everybody in Joey's camp was shocked at the fact that Joey was even pursuing marriage. They were like, this man is not serious. Like, he's actually getting married to somebody? Wow, my mind is blown. And I'm thinking, well, this now makes sense to the Joey that we saw at the reunion because he was just so aloof. And he admitted to the fact that he had a lot of work to do and whatever. And then I saw somebody on TikTok say that if you go back to the proposal episode with Joey and Monica, he did not say, will you marry me? He said, will you be engaged to me? My mind is blown. It's so interesting how Love is Blind gives us the material. It gives us everything. But sometimes we just miss it. And it's like every decision they make is deliberate. Every editing choice, everything that gets left on the cutting room floor, it's deliberate. And so to me, it's no mistake that the man said, will you be engaged to me? I don't even know if that was a conscious thing for him to be like, oh yeah, I have no plans on getting married. But interesting. Very sneaky. I'll have to go back and watch to confirm, but I believe it now. Very aloof. So him with his aloof fraudness, Sarah with the fraudness, y'all might as well be together. Birds of a feather. I guess they flock together. So let's move on to the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Like I said, y'all gonna have to hold my hand while I watch this show with you because I've never watched a full episode outside of today. of the Real Housewives of anything. Not Dubai, not Atlanta, Salt Lake City, Toronto. I don't know. None of the Real Housewives. I've watched them. Back when the Real Housewives was starting, I was more of like a bad girls club. I was more of like a bad girls club. What was the other show that I loved? Love and Hip Hop. Like, that was my jam. Toxic fights and the throwing of the drinks and the whatever. Like, that was my thing. Come to find out, the Real Housewives were doing the same thing. But it was branded as like housewives. And I was just like, I don't care about being a wife. Like, who cares about, I mean, I care now. Baby, if you're watching this, I care now. I care now. Okay? But I hand me an AD type ring. Thank you very much. But yeah, I fully enjoyed the first episode. I'm so mad that I'm 16 seasons behind because I loved it. It was so good. So they start the season off talking about Porsha. Now, Porsha I am aware of, obviously, because she goes viral every 30 days or something. And so I did see the fallout between her and her husband, Simon. So it sounds to me that Porsha took time away from the show because of the divorce with Simon. Am I correct? I don't know. Y'all tell me. And the whole situation with Simon is the fact that he has been caught in financial fraud. The man is a scammer. And I was thinking to myself, damn it, Simon, why? We're trying to beat the allegations as Africans and you're not making us look good. Jesus. Anyways, so yeah, he had green card situations. And later in the episode, Porsha was talking about how whenever they would go on trips, he would have to go into a secondary line. You didn't want to investigate that, mamas? You saw that he wasn't in the same line as you. What, don't you think there's a reason for that? Okay, anyways, he was exposed for being a fraudster. And so they are now divorced. Problem is, she and her daughter live in the marital home. The marital home is 50-50 hers and Simon's, right? Now, Porsha did say that in her previous marriage, she was done so dirty. She went in very naive. And so this time around, she protected herself and she got that prenup. Okay? Now that's on Virginia. Get you a prenup, ladies and gentlemen. And everybody else, get you a prenup. Thank you. So she got the prenup. However, the house is owned 50-50, right? And so now Seaman. Wait. Why would I do that? Simon sent a cease and desist. Lord have mercy. And he basically was like, yeah, I'm not going to let Porsha film in our home because he's part owner of the home. I'm thinking, how vindictive do you have to be to stop your ex-wife from making a living? I'm not sure what else Porsha does. I'm sure she has multiple streams of income, but I think being on the Housewives is a major part of how she makes her living. On top of that, too, she's the primary caretaker of her child. Why would you put her in a situation where she cannot provide for her kid? At least like in the way that she was prior to the divorce. I just think that that's so grimy and unfair. There are other things that he could do to be petty if you really want to be petty, but to stop somebody's bag, to me, that's pushing it. That's over the line. So she was talking to her lawyers, trying to see what they can do to make sure that she can still film. And the lawyers assure her that they're going to find a way to make that happen. So we will see what happens with that. The next person we meet, or let me say I meet, because I'm new to this, not true to this, okay, is Shamia. Shamia is Porsha's ride or die. However, she wants to be known for more than just that. She is a mother of two, and she is a dancer, a singer, an actress, and a host. And she will be hosting a birthday party for herself at this house, which apparently is like the second biggest sale in Atlanta that year. And I'm sorry, at first I was like, how luxurious could this house really be? Oh, no, that house is a house. No, mansion, estate. It's so gorgeous. It is so beautiful. And we're only getting to see the parts that she's letting us see. Oh my goodness sakes, what do these people do? Apparently her husband, who she's been married to for 10 years, they have 2 kids together. Apparently her husband is some big deal. I think he was Kenyan or something like that. And everybody's like, girl, what does he do for real? And she's like, oh, he's a king. Girl, I would have believed you. But she turns around and she says that he's in HVAC. And I'm thinking, so that's who, okay, no, HVAC. That's who I need to date. Okay. I mean, I can't change now. I'm locked in. But God forbid if anything happens, I'm looking for an HVAC man, okay? Okay, don't sleep on those men in trades, all right? I mean, I'm sure he like owns something or whatever. But anyways, her house is beautiful. Oh my gosh. And so she's going to be hosting her birthday party there. There is a little bit of drama that happens at the birthday party. And I'm thinking, Lord, we never grow out of it, do we? Girlies, whenever there's 2 or more gathered, sometimes some things pop off. Hey, it is what it is. So we meet Drew, or I meet Drew. I've seen Drew Sidora before. I know that she is in music and stuff like that. Drew is also currently going through a divorce. She is living in the marital home. However, her husband has been banished to the basement. I don't mean to laugh. No, I do. The pettiness that would be ignited within me if my ex-husband had to live in the basement. Let me tell you what I would do, okay? Obviously, we got to make sure the kid is not around, okay? The kid has to go with a nanny or a granny, any of the Annies, all right? And I would put on the performance of my life. Oh, I need to make sure your roof is shaking, because you know what your roof is to me? My floor. Oh my gosh. You guys, I would be doing all kinds of sound effects, all kinds of madness. Because here's the thing, in their agreement, they have to speak through an app because now they're co-parenting. They're going through a divorce. Like the lawyer has to see, the judge, has to see what kind of correspondence they're having with each other, right? So he decides to be petty in the app. She is trying to play it cool because she doesn't want to, be dinged by the judge or anything. So you know what I'm going to do? Inadvertent things. If I know you're in the basement, I'm jumping. Now, I meant jumping, like literally jumping, but jumping on the bed. Baby, doing all kinds of things. Doing the madness. That's the petty in me. Absolutely. But yeah, she's going through a divorce right now. However, her career has not slowed down at all. She's going on tour with Tank. Love Tank. Ooh. And she's also in a partnership with Dennis when it comes to music. Now, this is a little bit controversial because Dennis is Porsha's ex. That's the father of her child, if I'm not mistaken. And so she's like, yeah, I got permission from Porsha that I could work with Dennis. We later find out that is not true. And I'm thinking to myself, girl, why are you trying to blur the lines here? Why are you trying to start problems? There are so many other people you could work with. Why does it have to be Dennis? And she says, he's really passionate about music and blah, 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 whatever. And then I think it was Kenya Moore, because the people who I knew from Real Housewives of Atlanta, I think they're from the Atlanta one, Kenya, Cynthia, and Porsha. Those are the girlies that I knew, and Nene, right? So I'm like, oh, Kenya, I know her. And Kenya's like, so why didn't he help Porsha? Because Porsha was also trying to release music back in 2014 or whatever. And she's like, well, I don't know how passionate he was. Girl, he's being messy and you're being messy. And you know that. Oh, Lord, to be Drew. We'll see where that goes. Next, we meet Kelly. Kelly is a single mother of 4 gorgeous daughters, but there's 4 of them. I don't know about y'all, but I've been crashing out on a daily. Listen, I went on a girls trip and it was the 4 of us. And I said, a whole house biologically of women I cannot separate myself from. I don't know how I would handle it. But yeah, she's a single mother of 4. She has been going through a divorce for the last 2.5 years. And she thinks that it should be finalized in the next 2 months. Hopefully that's the case. Like, what happened? These housewives are giving housewives. House ex-wives, the Real House ex-wives of Atlanta, because everybody's divorcing. But anyways, she has a lot going for herself. She's the owner of Nana's Chicken and Waffles. She named that after her grandmother, who was a really good cook. And she also has like cookbooks and I think it was like margarita mixes and whatever. She has a lot of products. So she's got a lot going on for herself. She's a little bit petty though. And we're going to see the pettiness when it comes to her and Porsha's, I can't even say relationship because they're not even friends for real. So Kelly and somebody new who we have yet to really get to know, her name is Brittany. They go on a dinner date with Shamia. As we know, Shamia and Porsha are besties, ride or die, in it for life, okay? Why at this dinner do Kelly and Britt want to talk about the fact that Porsha stole somebody's man? I said, in the presence of Porsha's best friend, are you okay? Are you okay? So obviously Shamia is going to come to her friend's defense and say, well, hold on, not too much on my friend. There was a clear, breakup before Porsha got in there. Now the receipts don't really show that. I even heard about this. The lady Fallon had invited Porsha over to her home, and all of a sudden now Porsha and Simon are together. Hey, craziness. So yeah, Shamia's like, no, there was no foul play. There was no crossover. It's not giving that, sister. And that's your friend. You should defend her. Love that. But I think there's some foul play. Definitely. So yeah, Kelly and Britt, they're not investigating too much, but the fact that they even asked that question in front of Shamia, bad move. And so of course, Shamia's gonna go to Porsha and be like, hey girl, let me tell you what's being said about you. Porsha's not impressed. I wouldn't be impressed either. I'm wondering if you guys were Shamia in that situation, how would you handle it? Because I've been in a situation where somebody talks smack about somebody who I'm close with. I think I would have handled it the same way as Shamia. I'm going to come to my friend's defense, even if I know that my friend is probably in the wrong. And then I'm going to go tell my friend, what do I look like letting people talk smack about my girl and I don't tell my girl? No, I don't even think this was a TV stunt. I would have absolutely reported immediately to my best friend. And Porsha's like, I don't even know the girl. Who is this girl? Why is she talking about me? Why is it her business? Well, babe, y'all kind of made it all of our business. So I too want to know, was there a crossover? I don't think she'll ever admit it. But was there a crossover? Because it's giving crossover. Based on the receipts that they posted on the show, I feel like there was an 18-day separation between the time that Fallon and Simon announced that they were over and Porsha and Simon announced that they were together. It's giving crossover to me. But anyways, they also bring up the fact that Simon has been contacting Shamia, and Shamia was like, bro, basically this is all messy. It should not get like this. Porsha was not happy because she was like, don't call him bro. He's the ops. I'm with Porsha. Like, my ex-husband has done me dirty. Why are you bro insisting? Why are you bro insisting? That's not your friend. He's not my friend. He's not your friend. Stop. It would be one thing if they came into the relationship already having like prior friendships. So if Simon was already friends with Shamia, then fine. I don't know if they were. But if they weren't, and Shamia only met or only got close with Simon because of the relationship with Porsha, now that we're going through a divorce, I'm sorry. I'm going to have a problem with you talking about bro this, bro that. Because for what? What could you possibly have to say to him knowing that I don't plan on getting back with him? Like, you're crossing enemy lines here. I don't know, sister. So we are on to Shamia's birthday party. Some notable women who have also been invited are Cynthia, Kenya, Angela, and her husband, Mr. Oakley. I forget his name, but y'all know who it is, right? Immediately, Kenya is coming in with the shade. And I said, no, this is the Kenya that I know from social media. All right. She's talking to, I think it was Britt. And Britt earlier was raving about having this second ring now because, they're in a better place financially and whatnot. They've been married for however long. And so she needed an upgrade. Would you guys get an upgrade? I would get an upgrade. I don't know about y'all, but considering where I'm at right now, financially, where my man's at right now, financially, I will accept whatever ring that I get. Because I am getting a ring. Thank you very much. But, as life continues to be good to us, God willing, we can upgrade. I'm definitely okay with an upgrade. So Kenya's like, well, are you engaged? Because I don't see a wedding band. And she's like, no, I'm married. I'm married. Yeah. And she's like, oh, you got the second ring from a different man? Or I said, yo, the shade. I can see why millennials are probably the shadiest generation because we were brought up on this stuff. Like, Real Housewives has been around for how long? The shade is incredible. I was like, yo, these girls don't play, but also I rate it. I do. I don't think that I would get, it depends. I'm a person who doesn't wear jewelry like at all. As you can see, I don't even have my ears pierced down here. I have one piercing and it's this one. If I were to like choose between having the wedding band and the ring or just the engagement ring, I think I'll just keep the engagement ring. I just can't be bothered. It's too bulky, too much stuff. Unless it was purposely designed to go with the engagement ring, I think I'll just leave it. Well, we're still married anyways. Like, does the wedding band really matter? The ring is on my hand. You know I'm betrothed. Is it that serious? I don't think so. Anyways, we get to see a little bit of Shamia's home, which is gorgeous. And then it makes sense why the gift she got is the gift that she got from her husband. Why did they pull the cover off of a $430,000 Rolls Royce? And then I had to be reminded, I reminded myself that they live in the States. So that's $430,000 USD. You could pay off my life. Well, no, my life is worth more than that. But there's a lot of things that you could pay off in my life with that money. And you're telling me this is just a birthday gift? Oh, the lives of the rich and famous. Oh my gosh. Like, I don't really be jealous in this life, but ooh, there was a little bit of envy brewing inside of me. I said, wow, that's a good man, Savannah. That's a good man. So anyway, Shamia's having her moment. And then I didn't even realize that Porsha hadn't arrived yet. Porsha decides this is the time that she's going to crash the party. And then it's like posting in front of the car. This is how we doing in Atlanta. Yeah. I said, and that's your bestie? Shamia, that's your girl? Not only is she coming in late, she's then taking the spotlight away from, no, I'm sorry. That would not fly with me. And then Porsha's going to say, oh, I'm never late. I was only tardy because of traffic. Living where you were living. I went to Atlanta. I'm pretty sure that people know how traffic works. If it is my best friend's birthday party, I'm going to be the first one there and the last one gone. If it's within my capability. I'm going to be the first one there and the last one gone. What do you mean? Oh, girl, the traffic. Okay, fine. Coming through the back. Make it seem like you were here the whole time. You know? Do the whole, hey, this is how we do it after I've reveled in my moment. Oh, God forbid. That would not fly with me, child. It just really wouldn't. So then we have Cynthia and Kenya who are talking about the fallout between the new girlies that's going on. And I didn't even realize that this is like the last generation ushering in the new generation of Real Housewives of Atlanta. It's beautiful to see. Anyways, so they're just like, we're confused why Kelly and Britt are confused that Shamia would tell Porsha about what happened in their conversation. And I'm thinking, yeah, if I'm saying something about somebody's best friend, the least I would assume is that it would be reported back to her. I almost feel like they said it because it would be reported back to her. Like, you want the person to know, I've clocked your tea. I'm talking about you. So yeah, they're a little bit confused. And it's like, well, sorry, everybody's confused. Even I'm confused right now. Cynthia and Kenya are confused that Kelly and Britt are confused that Porsha and Shamia would debrief. Okay, we're all on track. So Porsha joins the conversation and Kelly is basically like, yeah, girl, this is what I said. And Porsha's being mad shady. She's like, I don't even know your name for real. Oh, well, Porsha, we know that that's not true because you've already been in the blogs talking about Kelly. She called her Kells or something like that. You at the very least know her name starts with a K-E-L-L. Just add the I. Okay? Like, you are deliberately being shady and Kelly was giving it back to her. And I said, girl, good on you. I know it must be daunting to be like thrust in this circle where obviously Porsha is one of the kingpins of the Real Housewife franchise. It is intimidating to be the one to be like, actually, I'm not going to let you walk all over me, babes. I'm going to stand my ground. And I'm kind of glad that she did. Like, don't be acting like you don't know me. You know me. You spoke about me. You mentioned my establishment. Like, clearly I mean something. Clearly I'm on your mind in some form or fashion. So then I think it was Brittany. She was trying to explain where Kelly was coming from. Porsha doesn't want to hear any of it. And then at the same time, we have Drew, who literally can't hear anything. And so she's like, can we move to a quieter place? They move up to this room again. Gorgeous. Shamia, girl, let us in. What? How did y'all amass this wealth? Not that I'm not trying to impede on whatever you're doing. I just want some notes, you know, sister, helping a sister. Because the house is, the things that I could do with this house. Anyways. They go up there, they're talking and whatnot. And Porsha's like, well, I heard that you're having a birthday. I wasn't invited. What's that about? Drew was like, well, nobody was invited. And she's like, well, I actually did get an invite, but it was from Dennis, my baby daddy. Why is my baby daddy telling me about your birthday? And Drew is sitting there acting all stunned, acting all confused. No, don't be confused now. Hey. You wanted a quiet room. We're in a quiet room now. I know you heard me. Don't be confused now. Why is my ex-man reaching out to me about yours? Are y'all together? And that's the cliffhanger that we were left on. We're going to see how Drew answers the whole are they together thing. Drew, is not looking good for you, sister. Is Drew known as like a homewrecker? Like, is this Drew's reputation? I would hope not. But yeah, it's not looking good. Even back when they were showing like clips of Dennis and Drew's relationship in the past, it seemed like the lines were being blurred because she was doing a maternity shoot and she's there like dancing or whatever, and he's in the background or whatever, she's doing shows and whatnot. Y'all, please let me know the tea on Drew. Is she a home wrecker? I mean, can you wreck a home that's already been broken? No. Would you guys let one of your friends or an acquaintance date your ex without any pushback? That's what I mean by let. Like, not that you were giving permission, but you might hear my mouth. If you're dating my ex, you might hear my mouth. I'll be honest about that. My best friend, actually, I think it was her first boyfriend. If not her first, it was her second. It was just so long ago, we forget. Back then, she was one of those girls who like does not play about any of the guys that she dates. You know, you cannot talk to them. You cannot whatever. As we've gotten older, she's like, I mean, you can explore it. Back when I was single, she's like, yeah, you can explore it. You know, we've gotten older. He's grown. Maybe he's changed. Maybe you guys are more compatible. No, thank you. Simply on the principle that you've already been there, I'm good. I commend you on your maturity. Because sometimes the person who you're with is just not your person. And they might be better suited with somebody in your circle. Hell, Monica did it with her own sister. She was dating that man and she said, you know what? You would be more compatible with my sister. And sure enough, they're still together. Not married though. But still together. Okay? Still together. I just couldn't do it. You know too much about my friend, my sister, my acquaintance. You know too much. I know too much. Because it's probably likely that they came to me ranting about the things in your relationship and whatnot. And now I'm just supposed to go in with a clean slate. It's just not going to happen. I don't even think I would be able to pawn off anybody from my past to one of my friends. That would just be very uncomfortable for me. So yeah, I don't fault Porsha for feeling away and wanting to question Drew, because Drew was good, girl. Was good. So yeah, we'll see how this season goes. Guys, so far, I'm loving Real Housewives. I'm almost debating if I should just go back. Is it worth going back, guys? Should I start from season 1? Tell me, what is the best Real Housewives franchise or branch or whatever? Number 1. And number 2, which is the best season of Real Housewives Atlanta? I think that would be good. If y'all tell me which is the best one, which one has like the most drama, the most context, you know what I'm saying? So I can be abreast as to what's going on with this show, because I'm locked in. Truly I am. Thank you guys for tuning in. Tune in every Tuesday, baby, because I'm going to be here. I'm so excited. We are going to be behind by a week simply because of, filming and turnaround time, but I'm going to be on it. We're going to be talking about the show. Of course, I'm still going to be looking out for any Love is Blind tea. Love Island All-Stars, I feel like that should be done for good, but Love Island Games should be around the corner real soon. So we're going to be covering that as well. As always, like, comment, share, subscribe on all of the platforms, and I'll see you again next Tuesday. Bye.